Hi, good afternoon. This is Michelle Padilla. Can you hear me okay?
Hi,
Hi.
can you,
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay? This is
yes,
April.
yes, hi.
Hi. I don't see the video on you.
Oh, start video. Let's see. There's the camera. Okay, there we go.
Hi, April.
Hi.
this,
I'm on a different
uh,
computer with it today, so I had to download it again.
oh, no worries. I'm getting used to this. This is Awareness Hour, and I'm the host, Michelle Padilla, and I have a special guest today, April. We're going to be talking about the Velvet Room, how she got started, and we're going to go from there. So, April, want to introduce yourself to my listeners?
Hi, my name's April Doyle, and I have had a background in a lot of different arenas of entertainment, from modeling and acting and etc. And then it ended up being primarily singing. Um, and I got my feet wet, I guess, primarily with in the corporate arena, doing the corporate shows and functions, and was in a very successful corporate band, and then kind of wanted to move on and do my own thing. So now I do Hot Chili Productions, which is my corporate band, and we play internationally, and it's sort of like our day job music. And then I have my personal project, April in the Velvet Room, and that started out with just recording some old, beautiful favorite songs that I loved. And then all of a sudden it morphed into this original project where we were writing. And I was working with, I'm very lucky to work with some of the top people in the industry. The producer, Kevin Flournoy, is the musical director for Pointer Sisters, has worked with Shaka Khan, Babyface, I mean, a big long list. And so we would go into record, he would pull in all these incredible people. So the project sounds amazing. We have some videos out and some recordings on my website, and it's just turned into something very interesting, very nice, especially in these very weird times that none of us ever
Yes.
expected. It's affecting all of us differently, and all my I've done a lot of radio interviews lately, and they've all had a very different context because people are concerned, afraid, angry, worried. There's just a myriad of emotions that everyone's going through in this time. So I
So,
think, go ahead, sorry.
how are you doing with the quarantine? How are you holding up? Are you practicing your songs at home? Because I know you can. Now I think you can go to the studios now. I think.
Yeah,
So
we
how?
did. Yeah, we obviously we can't do any shows because, and I did my last April in the Velvet Room show on the 8th of March. And then like right after that, everything closed down. So we were lucky to get out there and do that at Vibrato in Bel Air. It's Herb Alpert's club. And we were very excited and thinking, well, can't wait for the next show. And boom, it was like everything was shut down because you can't do music, even if it's in a high-end bar. It's a crowd of people, and they aren't allowing that. So everything from, a lot of my corporate clients have moved their events into next year. Some people have just canceled them. So we've stayed relevant. We did a beautiful video at Heal the World. One of my lead singers in the group, JP Castillo, which everybody should check out. He's amazing. He just, J-Lo's last tour, he opened up for her the last 12 shows, and he goes out with the Jacksons. So I just thought how perfect to do the song Heal the World, have JP sing lead on it. And we actually ended up having everybody, in the band record their parts, remotely, send it all to JP, and he put it all together. And that's on our Hot Chile Productions Facebook page. It's really nice. People should check that out. Got a very nice response. So we're trying to let people know that we're just waiting for things to calm down, and we're going to be, alive and well and performing. And, unfortunately, a lot of my business partners, so to speak, in this industry have had to shut doors. I know a lot of agents have had to shut doors because they they can't sit there and wait for God knows when for things to be working again, you know? So again, very odd times, and everybody's just, you know, kind of hunkered down, and it is what it is, you know, and people are all dealing with it differently.
Yeah, I hear you. It's been kind of crazy. So, and I've been using Zoom a lot more than Skype. So it seems to be working out. A lot of people like to use Zoom now instead of Skype, I guess, because it's a better quality and we can see each other face to face, and it's much easier to convert it into an MP3 player. And so, April, my question is, when did you get started, and why did you want to be a singer?
When I started out, I was actually doing a lot of theater, and I was just randomly asked if I wanted to get together with this group and that was going to do some music. And this group just kind of took off. It was one of the first major corporate bands, and I was doing so many events with this band and that's how I got introduced to the whole corporate arena in regards to music. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of headliners stay alive with corporate entertainment. Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang. I mean, they pretty much their main income comes from going around doing these private events for these large companies. It's pretty interesting. So that's what I started in that way. Just to kind of, I was lucky enough to be in this band at the right place, the right time, and that type of music just took off. And then just decided I wanted to go off and do my own thing at some point. But yeah, that's how it all started. I was kind of doing a little bit of everything. I had to put everything aside to be able to travel, do all the shows, because I was doing a lot of makeup. I was doing some modeling and a lot of jingles and things, and we were all over the nation doing these private events. So it was cool. The travel was great. A lot of fun.
Now, do you write your own songs? How long does it take to write your own songs?
That's an interesting thing. I used to wait for the creativity lightning bolt to hit me before I would write a song, so I would only write a song like every once a year or something. And then after I have, as my craft became more, I got better at what I did from experience. And you have to writing is a practice. So I have a lot of songs now, and I know enough of a formula to where I can sit down, bring an idea, get an idea of what I'm feeling, what I want to write about, and then go from there. You just, pick the vibe that you want to, if it's going to be a ballad or if it's going to be an upbeat song, and then kind of find a beat and kind of, work off for me, it starts with finding a subject that I like, a phrase that I like. I start with a chorus, and then I kind of go from there. It kind of flowers from there. And it could take, a couple days, but I know enough of how to express myself now to get a solid piece of art out and, not wait like for a whole year like I used to wait for the lightning bolt to hit me.
Yeah. So when you get inspiration, do you like classic rock, 80s? What kind of music do you like to mess around with?
I personally really like R&B, funk, hip hop. That's my background. So the Velvet Room music is sort of a melange, like a mix of R&B, jazz with a little bit of neo soul in there. So it's like, I call it kind of sophisticated neo soul. So like it's very interesting. Adult contemporary, I used to think that was a bad phrase, a bad term. I didn't like it. And now it's kind of opened up into a wider age range. And you listen to, if you listen to Sirius Radio, just for an example, Heart and Soul, it's very neo soul, but it's everything from, they're playing back in the day Luther Vandross to current stuff like Her and Ella May and all this stuff that's very popular right now. But it is sort of more low key and more kind of adult contemporary. Again, adult
Right.
contemporary, it's not a bad word anymore.
I'm still here. Um, yeah, see, I kind of like it. And my question is, Um, how was it when you were working with Babyface? And yes,
Oh, I didn't work with him personally. My producer, Kevin Flournoy, was his musical director and does shows with him. Um, and so I just got to hear about it. I didn't work with him myself. That was he's very particular, but people at that caliber that have written hit songs for everybody like that are very particular, and they sort of get the rights to be particular. But he said it was a great show, but that he was really called to task on that one.
and did you ever get to work with Stevie Wonder?
I worked with people from Stevie Wonder's band are in my band, and we have in our corporate events we have opened up for him and actually played after him like an after party. So that was that was amazing. That was to work side by side with that iconic level of talent is there's nothing like it. It
Did you get
inspires you on stage to do better and just try to be everything you can be.
did you get nervous working with Stevie Wonder?
um I was just really excited. I was really excited, just to just to be in his presence, because he's an icon. I mean, like he's one of those people that's at a different level of celebrity. So it's just like, when somebody is kind of got that kind of sparks flying out of them, it's exciting to be around. I didn't get nervous. I was just really excited.
And did you work with the Pointer Sisters as well?
No, that's Kevin Flournoy, my producer. He is their musical director, and
Nice.
yeah, he's with them all the time, solidly. He's been with them for years.
And so I always ask this question because I know I have a lot of college kids trying to get into the music business, and I always ask them, what do you have advice for them? Because I know times are kind of tough right now in this situation.
Sure.
What, what do you recommend them to doing?
It's even with this weirdness going on, that shouldn't stop people from honing their craft. Getting better at what you do, expanding your musical knowledge. Doesn't matter whether you play an instrument or just record, if you write, sing, whatever. You can always expand. It helps you in the studio the more you know about music, to be able to write music, to be able to read music, to be able to understand. Because when you're in the studio, and it's been my experience and pretty much everybody I know, you get some people that do everything by ear. They don't really know what they're talking about, but they just have this innate artistic sense of just hearing things by ear. And then you get these cats that come in there and they're like, okay, that's in B flat, and I want you to take the next. I mean, they talk math,
Right.
and you need to know, and they expect you to know what they're talking about. So back to your question, learn as much as you can. And there's these amazing things online now. You don't have to go anywhere. Even as things get more normal, and hopefully they will continue. But there's the masterclass things where you hear people, the superstars in the industry, Christina Aguilera, Usher, even RuPaul's thing that he says gave me goosebumps. There is just, these are exceptional individuals that are telling about their experience in the industry. It's money hearing this stuff. So you can, and besides that, you can learn how to read music online. There are beautiful classes for that. There's so many of them, I can't even name all of them. There's vocal lessons online. There's piano lessons online. So, I mean, hone your craft, and you can actually go on to, there's some forums like on Facebook and Instagram where they're for real. You can tell that these are real. Introduce yourself to some people. Try to see what they're doing, where they're playing, where they're going to be playing, or where they, you just kind of try to find the right crowd for your type of music. And you can always, it's good to buddy up with people that are, working in, or, in the same vein as you are.
Oh, it's just kind of cool. So, And well, I don't know. My story's a little bit different, but I started doing podcasting about almost 9 years. It's going to be 9 years in August, and I started doing the podcasting because I got diagnosed with a a mis a syndrome called 22q. It's like Down syndrome, so it's a tiny piece of a chromosome, and you have all these issues going on. So I started
Huh.
doing the podcasting to get more people involved in understanding what 22q is. And so I've been meeting a lot of people, and turns out they have different causes and events and stories that they like to share. So it's not just about spreading awareness, but making different causes and events so people can say, oh, okay, she loves music. How do I get into music? I want to learn the downbeat of it. And so that's how the awareness show came about. So
Good for you. Good for you.
we've had guests like Marion Ross on the show, Don Wells on the show, uh, Elaine Graff from Mr. Belvedere on the show, and now
Nice.
you, April.
Nice.
So, April, what is the Velvet Room?
The Velvet Room was my little brainchild name for. I actually heard it on a radio station that I love a long time ago. It was KJLH, and when they had the Velvet Room, they would play kind of low key, kind of sexy R&B stuff. So that's not what I'm after with it. I just always thought it was a very interesting name. It just kind of conjured up some interesting things for me. And for me, what it means is you never know who you're going to see on my show. At the last show we did before, everything shut down, I had two dancers come out into the crowd. Like you just sit down at a vibrato. Everyone just eats really nice food. There's no dance floor. So they were sitting there watching the show, and then we played a slow, like a ballad. And I had these two dancers come out, and James T is one of the dancers on Dancing with Stars, and he did the whole last season on Masked Singer, and
Oh,
he brought
okay.
this beautiful girl with him. And sorry, I'm blanking on her name. They spun out into the crowd, and everybody was like, oh, it was so cool because they didn't expect it. And I had a violinist, vocalist come in on our show, Angelina Cherie, and she's amazing. She's played with everybody like from Eminem to I can't even list her list of credits, but it's hard to remember because, like I said, all the people in the band are just so seasoned, and they all have bragging rights for days. So I'm always thrilled to be working with them. So you never know what you're going to get and who's going to be in the Velvet Room when you come to a show. It could be dancers, it could be a celebrity sit-in. It could be one person that comes in to just do one song with us and then leaves. We just want it to be kind of special like that. Like there's always going to be some little cherry on the sundae in my show, like something different.
And is the Velvet Room actually? It's just a project that you're working on, correct?
Yeah, that's my original project. The Haute Chile is my corporate day job band, and that goes on all the time. That's we cater to the events for these high-end clients. And then April in the Velvet Room is my personal expression with my originals and some of my all-time favorite classics. And I still work with these amazing musicians, and we just have a lot of fun because we work off the excitement of working with each other. Musicians that get to work with other star musicians, it creates a really nice energy on stage.
So when you're talking about classics, what kind of classic songs do you like to sing?
Uh, that's a huge question. I'll just have to say some random ones. I love Nancy Wilson. She passed away not that long ago. I did Save Your Love. Um, my mother introduced me to some people. Bobby Short. Bobby Short was a Cafe Society piano player singer, and he was Gloria Vanderbilt's boyfriend. And he played at the Carlisle in New York for 28 years before he passed away. I got to see him one time before he passed away, and it was pretty amazing. he did all like Cafe Society, the old school songs from the 20s and 30s, and I Get a Kick Out of You, and like really like classics that Michael Bublé is still doing them. Harry Connick is still doing them. These songs that are not going to die. I love some of that stuff. Some of the old Frank Sinatra stuff. I don't feel like I want to sing that. I like to sing male songs, but I haven't tried to do any of the Frank Sinatra stuff. But he gets a mark. He gets a mark in the. Who else? Then there's, always Luther Vandross. There's Layla Hathaway. There's just, the classics, people that have that subtle class, in their vocal stylings, that you're going to hear these people in 15 years, 20 years. Unfortunately, so much of the stuff that you hear right now is it's like, I hate to say this, it's like almost disposable. You're not even going to know who these people are in like 5 or 10 years. So the internet has been very interesting. It's offered a lot of people opportunity, but yet it's also made things kind of disposable, for lack of a better term.
Can I ask you to sing a song on the air if you'd like?
Let me think. You're putting me on. Let me think here. Wish I knew why I'm so in love with you. No one else in this world will do. Darling, please save your love for me. That's a Nancy Wilson song that we mentioned.
That is beautiful. I actually, my mom loves Nancy Wilson. I like classic songs too, like Frank Sinatra, Nancy Wilson, Heart. You know, today's music, not too really familiar with it. Like you said, they're gonna be fading out pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm more like 80s, 70s, 60s, 90s, some 2000 songs. But if you ask me today's music, I don't know who they are. Like,
Well,
so
it's like every day there's a bunch of brand new names, and it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of cool that these new artists can come in and get their songs played, but then they just disappear.
exactly.
It's this technology there's like plus minus to it.
It's a give or take. And so the next question I have is, can my Facebook followers follow you on Facebook, or do you have a Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter?
Yes, thank you so much. I would really appreciate it if people would check it out and let me know what they think. On Facebook, it's April and the Velvet Room. And then we also have for my corporate band, Haute Chile Productions. That's HAUTECHILE Productions. Might be interesting for them to check out. They could see the video we did, the Heal the World. It's really nice. And then on my Facebook page at the bottom right, there's links to all of the audio, all of the videos. We dropped 3 videos. We have a new song out now, La Belle, that is a song that Sting did, and I redid it and sang it in French. And we shot a beautiful video with it, with the dancers I was telling you that just did our last show. And we're getting nice reviews from that. So love to hear what your listeners think.
I will definitely have my listeners, they're watching now on Facebook Live, so I figured out how to do the Facebook Live and Zoom at the same time. So they are watching you. So this is something new that I'm trying, and like I said, I couldn't do it with Skype because I don't think Skype has that capability.
Yeah.
And so want to give a shout out to Holly Davidson for letting me have an interview with you. And I hope that if you send me a friend request or a link, I can like share it on my Facebook page. And then if you have any videos you want me to format into MP3, let me know. I am capable now to do that. I figured
Awesome.
out how.
I'll have Holly send that all to you.
Perfect.
Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. What is the next step that you want to do after this quarantine is over?
Well, it's kind of a weird thing because we have no idea when things going to go back, or when everything is going to go back to some, complete sense of normalcy, or at least 95%, where crowds can get together and all that. So, if things don't, if things are slower than later than sooner or whatever, there's going to be some recordings that I can do with the band, not in big crowds, but we can still go in the studio and record, and then have other people come in on other days and do their parts. So we can still keep creating, and then posting. I've got an amazing social media guy that posts everything out there for me on Instagram. That's April in the Velvet Room as well. And he put a beautiful website up for me, www.April and the Velvet Room. But he's, he knows how to put all this stuff together and then put it out there so it gets social, relevance. And that's basically the only way to stay alive for musicians right now. The musicians, stars are all over TikTok. They just are trying to keep their selves present and relevant for people, since they're not out performing.
April, do you do TikTok? Have you tried it yet?
I will be honest and tell you that yes, I have a couple videos on there right now, and actually 3. I did a little. It's April J. Doyle 2. I'm telling the world. That's sharing my funky video. I did a little redo of the times, 7/7/7/93/11. I did a little lip sync on his little Morris Days rap in the middle.
Nice.
And now I'm busted. I just busted myself.
Whoops. I'm not gonna lie. I did a little bit TikTok. I'm playing with it, so I'm like all these new social media sites are like, Snapchat, Instagram. What is it? There's so many out there now, so people are trying to be safe. And my last question is, what do you think about drive-by or drive-in concerts?
Private concerts?
Drive-in concerts, like how they used to do in drive-in theaters.
People want to hear and experience musicians, shows, etc. I think that if we have to do that, I think we will accommodate. I think that it will make it happen, because we're not going to stop. People are not going to stop their love for music and want to go out and hear musicians and see shows and all that. It'll be very weird if we have to, change things that dramatically in the industry. But I know that if they have to, and there's a lot of these viral concerts. I've been asked by certain agents would I do a viral concert. So the band goes somewhere, set up the cameras, shoot the show, and then it's I don't know. I guess that's better than nothing. It seems a little lackluster to me. I guess it depends on how it's filmed. If you had a whole bunch of cameras, it can make it look like a real concert on, like they show on TV. That'd be fun. But if you just had 1 or 2 cameras, it seems like it would be kind of wah, wah.
Yeah, I know. It's not the same as a live concert,
Right.
but I think right now the time might be a little, see if they like it. I used to like going to drive-in movies myself, but then again, with the movies, all these businesses are closing or going bankruptcy. It's kind of like downsizing, and now I think
Yep.
we're looking like the Jetsons. We're gonna be going on the internet more often and doing Zoom, but we don't have the flying cars yet, so that's maybe in the near future or so.
No, I guess it would be better than nothing, like I said. But what about dancing? I don't know if people could get out and dance by their car, 6 feet away from the other dancer. I don't know. It's a weird concept. But again, it's better than nothing than not seeing anybody perform and not going to hear live music. There's nothing like hearing live music. People, it's just so exciting.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. and
Yes.
you could just sit down and have dinner, listen to music, you chat with your friends. And if you're in a car, you can't have that same experience. So
Right.
that's how I look at it. But then again, we'll see what happens in a few months if there's going to be another wave. You know, they're talking about having
I
another
hope
wave.
not, man. I hope not. But you know what they've said. That's. I hope that we're not going out too soon, because they say if another second round comes up of this, it's going to be way more serious than the first one was. So I'm trying not to. I'm
Keep your
crossing
fingers crossed.
fingers and saying prayers.
So, April, what is your do you have any projects that you're working on now, or are you just taking a little break?
We're just, kind of doing the same projects, but just being, everything's kind of slow. So we've done the video for for Haute Chile. We've been releasing, my full album is done from April in the Velvet Room. So we've just been releasing little teasers about the song and the video, and then finally released La Belle a couple weeks ago, and that's doing well. So we have some other songs that we'll continue releasing. I don't know about shooting any more video with them. We might just keep putting out the audio. But we have a plan. We're not going to just disappear. We're going to keep ourselves relevant by putting stuff out there.
Well, I think that it is great, and it looks like our time is almost up. So you can follow April on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. What is your uh, uh, sorry about that. One last time, where can they follow you? There you go.
April and the Velvet Room. And then the website's
And
aprilandthevelvetroom.com. So yeah, I appreciate everybody's feedback.
and I will look for that website, the link on Facebook, and I'm gonna as soon as I'm done, I will convert it into an MP3 and I will send it to you guys. So
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
April, for
much.
stopping by. I love you. I hope you guys have a nice health rest of the weekend. Enjoy yourself and be safe and wear your mask. See you guys
Definitely take
later.
care. All the
You
best.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.